It's hot out there, but let's blow them off the line of scrimmage.
For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory.
Last week in Atlanta, the New York Giants were visiting the lackluster 1-3 Falcons. As Southern sightseers, the Giants got to witness two important events. First, they saw the Falcons put into retirement the shirt of their one-time great middle linebacker, Tommy Novus. Second, they saw the Falcon offense finally come out of retirement as one of the three lowest-scoring teams in the NFL. Meanwhile, in New England, the Patriots seem to have finally gotten their season off the runway and into the rarefied Automo zone. They were coming off a thrilling last-minute victory over the Raiders. Now, with their season turned around, the Pats were hoping to secure victory number 3 in what had so far been a topsy-turvy year full of surprises. The feeling in Foxborough was one of frenetic gaiety, slightly tempered because the opponent was the tough-to-figure Chargers, whose coach Don Coryell was in his first game after taking over from Tommy Prothro as the San Diego Metter. Before the game began, Coryell seemed intense and strung as tight as a 12-string guitar. Of course, the pressure was on him because much had been expected of San Diego this year, and thus far, delivery was way overdue. Still, Coryell was just getting to know some of his players and their capabilities, so the relationship between coach and team was a budding one at best. On the other hand, Patriots coach Chuck Fairbanks seemed relatively composed as he surveyed the arsenal of talent he had put together and knew so very well. As it unfolded, last week was yet another of 1978's surprise Sundays as the Giants met the Falcons in Atlanta and the Chargers faced the Patriots in New England for our NFL doubleheader game of the week. On the very first series of plays, New England quarterback Steve Grogan found out why the Chargers were the leaders in sacks in the NFL with 20 already to their credit. Number 79, Gary Johnson's impersonation of the Wabash Cannonball left Grogan groggy and set the tone for the first quarter. The Patriots were determined to beat Coryell at his own game as they tried mightily to establish a passing attack. But when Grogan was sharp, his receivers seemed to need some stropping and some stickum. Of the 14 passes he threw in the first half, 8 were caught and 4 were just flat out dropped, such as this potential point getter, which did some slip sliding away from Harold Jackson. Eventually, a little rambling, a little scrambling, and a 30-yard toss to an unattended Jackson gave New England a 7-0 first quarter lead. Early in the second quarter, San Diego's Dan Fouts got his team on the move, and a 5-play, 61-yard drive was culminated on this 3-yard scoring pass to tight end Pat Curran. The extra point was missed, so the Patriots still held the lead 7-6. But they didn't hold it for long because Steve Grogan was about to make a costly mistake. He tried to force a pass to A.J. Johnson, and it was picked off by linebacker Don Good, number 50, at midfield. The ensuing 6-down drive included this play, which magically turned a zebra into a capsized turtle. Then from the 21, Fouts threw a perfect scoring strike to rookie John Jefferson from Arizona State, and the charged-up Chargers took a 13-7 lead into the dressing room at halftime. Some eyebrows that must have been raised around the league when the 13-7 San Diego lead was announced must have risen right off of a lot of faces when the Chargers struck quickly to open the second half. A spectacular catch by spectacular rookie John Jefferson, who was being interfered with at the time, was good for 40 yards and boosted the Charger lead to 20-7. And an upset was looking more and more possible as the Patriots continued to stumble all over themselves on offense. Hoping to bury New England right then and there, San Diego came back throwing on their next possession. And it cost them when number 57 Steve Nelson cut in front of Fout's intended receiver and made a fine tumbling interception. New England had a much-needed break, the ball on San Diego's 39-yard line, and soon after, a touchdown when Grogan found Harold Jackson breaking free in a corner of the end zone from 18 yards out. For Jackson, it was his second touchdown of the game. It cut the Charger lead to 20-14 and speeded the pulse rate of a team that was beginning to die. After holding San Diego on 2 consecutive series and trailing by only 6 with 8.5 minutes to go in the game, Grogan and Jackson gave New England another big shot of adrenaline, good for 57 yards. Several plays later, Grogan found tight end Russ Francis, and New England led for the first time since the middle of the first quarter. New England now led 21-20 with less than 5 minutes left. Grogan, who has been much maligned in New England due to the Pats' stumbling start, had thrown his 3rd touchdown pass of the game. Another look at the Patriots' go-ahead touchdown shows that Grogan sent Francis, number 81, in motion to the left, then speared his big tight end as he cut back to the right against the flow of the San Diego defense. The narrowest of margins was now left to the New England defense to protect. They had quieted the Charger offense since early in the second half, but now with the game on the line, the San Diego offense got noisy again. A Dan Fout scramble was good for 12 yards and appeared to be helped additionally by a penalty flag. Number 40 Mike Haynes thought he was being called for a roughing penalty, but it turned out to be just a mistakenly dropped flag. It left San Diego with a much tougher field goal, but Rolf Benershka made it anyway, and the Chargers were back on top 23-21 with 1:55 left to go in the game. For the 3rd straight week, Grogan had to move his team the length of the field late in the game. He had just missed against Baltimore, made it versus Oakland, and now had to make it 2 out of 3 if the Patriots were to avoid an upset. With Grogan hitting 4 of 5 passes, New England marched on their 3rd game-determining drive in 3 weeks. A 20-yard interference call moved the Patriots into San Diego territory. And from the 30, Grogan rolled right as far as he could, then threw all the way back across the field to Francis, who completed a 25-yard play to the San Diego 5. With 36 seconds left, Grogan gave himself the option of running or passing, decided to run, and New England won another heart-stopper. I may have ulcers soon, said Grogan after the Patriots' 3rd straight gut-wrencher, but New England has won 2 of those games and is in first place in the division. If the Patriots win their share of the close ones, a big antacid tablet bill will be a small price to pay for a division title in New England.